All right, good morning traders, and welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap, and we'll go through some live analysis here. We just had the CPI data from the analysis here. We just had the CPI data, and it's outside of expectations. Pretty interesting move. It's about 100 points, S&P points, just like that. Pretty amazing move. And we have FOMC tomorrow, so look for 100 points or more going the opposite direction. Anyway, it's going to be really interesting, guys. So let's jump in here. Just a note here about some updates. Let me show the YouTube page. As you guys know, we have all sorts of things going on in our Discord and our YouTube channel. So Tom B, he's streaming next. He'll be up at 11:30, so in about an hour and 20 minutes. We have Sam Crypto Lifer. He will be up around 1 o'clock East Coast time. So he'll be looking at crypto and looking forward to that. We haven't had Sam for a while. So he's a crypto trader, of course. We had him before. It's excellent stuff. A big Bookmap user, so I think you guys will get a lot out of it for the crypto markets. After that, we have Doug with options, and then later Friday we have Oliver, which this will be in German. So if you want to, if you're German speaking, or he's a volume profile trader or a volume or market profile trader as well. So take a look. And these are just a host of the events that we have coming up. These are daily here, except for the Crypto Lifer and Oliver. Anyway, let's continue on and jump in here. Risk disclosure or general disclosure. All Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, here's the CPI data, 8:30. Quite a move. In fact, I thought it was quite a move even before the data. Let's just take a quick look here. Some spikes here just before the data here, up into 40.50 here. Now we're looking at the rollover contract here into the March 2023 contract. Right, here's our spike into 40.50 and through it. Here's the follow through, and then here is our data. Look at this, guys. So it started spiking beforehand quite a bit, yeah, look at this. Look at this spike beforehand. And, I thought, there's always different variations of these economic events. And you can see how sensitive the market is to these events here. And this is a huge week here with a lot of fundamental data. Plus, we have rollover. We've got a lot going on. These volatile moves in here can be, you kind of stand back and let them play out. But this was a nice 10-point move, a few minutes, 3 minutes before, 2.5 minutes before the release, and something like that. And then here's the big spike. Okay, even before, right? You see the spike to the upside here. Okay, so someone knew something, or whatever the case may be, we just know this: the spike happened even before, and it certainly followed through afterwards. We're going to see all sorts of stops in here. Unfortunately, I was up very early. I had all my stops and icebergs data, but was testing a new product that will be released next week, guys. I had a hiccup there and had to restart my Bookmap. So unfortunately, I don't have the stops and icebergs, but these stop runs are huge. Okay, they're just huge. and then look at this follow through. Now look where the data, look at the data here, look where price went, okay, up into high liquidity. See, look at them pull all that liquidity here right before the release, seconds before. These traders don't want the risk. These traders here did want to accept the risk here, and they did, and they got filled, and they got filled up here too. Okay, this is where Bookmap is going to help you understand these areas in here. Okay, these areas of where price is transacting. This is where there's limit sell orders here and here. Look at this flip of the order book. This is one of the kind of very visual, very easy kind of setup or order flow phenomena that can you can spot very, very easily. High liquidity here on the bid, or I'm sorry, on the offer. On the offer here, they're flipping to the bid side. Okay, so now they want to be, they were sellers, now they're buyers, followed up by buyers trading up again into high areas of high liquidity. Again, look at this, on the bid, absorbing as much as they can, and then the push through again. All right, so you can learn a lot from understanding this kind of relationship between the aggressors, price structure, and liquidity is right here in front of us. Okay, so buyers did not take on these sellers up here, and then but they showed tons of support here at 41.46, and then we got the push into and through. Okay, and again and again and again, right? So really, really powerful move, guys. That was, let's just let's give some numbers here. 830 and 2. Let's see here. Let's just zoom all the way out. All right. So 830, and then 20 seconds, less than 20 seconds later, 15 seconds, we were up from what is this? This is around 60 or 58 on up to 78 basically, something like that. All right. So you're looking at I'm sorry, 40.58 to 41.78. So 120 points. All right, huge spike, huge move. And then look at these areas. Let's just go back here to those flip of the order book in here, okay, where we saw these big flips. And we're gonna mark them up in here. Here, well, that's not a flip. Where's the one that's a flip? I think it was a little bit higher here. So in fact, let's clear this. Here's the flip. All right, right here. That's a good one. And let's just zoom out now. Look where price came back to. Okay, it actually came all the way back to here, this liquidity, and we see really nice bounce here. So what happened over here? Not much. No flip over here, really. Okay, it's just the figure here, 4100. All right. So and it came all the way back down to the figure here, bounced around off of the figure here, okay, and then back on up. And let's see, current price, where are we now? Okay, we're in this range here, between 4100 on up to this kind of 4152, something like that. And then here's our cash open, immediately to the downside, and back and forth. And again, another move here to the downside. All right, guys. So anyway, just take a look at this information in here, this is our big event, no question about it. And now the volume event, obviously it's this big huge spike here is the price event. The volume event's really here though, okay, between these 2 points here, and that's where we're chopping around right now. Okay, so 4100 the figure, and then our kind of range up here around 4150, so about a 50-point range or so. All right, that's what we're kind of looking at here, and we see enough sellers here coming in right now. Let's see if they can reach back down to finally trade into 4100. Okay, it looks pretty good so far. I'd be looking for the sellers to come in and try to reach this 4100 here. Okay, we're making lower highs in here, lower lows. There's more sellers. Everything's good. We're getting a bit of a pullback now, and that's fine. We can look for where those pullbacks might unfold. Okay, I really like this area, and there's liquidity right there too at 41.12. All right, and then let's see if the sellers roll back in again and try to make it down to this 4100. All right, so anyway, that's just a quick kind of order flow read at the moment, and let's see if we can get that move to unfold. All right, so we'd be looking for sellers here to come in, and first test is 07, and then the figure down here at 100. All right. All right, guys, let me get to any questions in here immediately. That was a lot to go through. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. You highly recommend Doug's series on options. It's excellent. It's unique. Yeah, you know, it's something new and unique. And Doug has studied really hard to get there, and found something that you know is fantastic. So you might want to jump over there and check it out. Is it healthy? There are tons of single prints on the way up. Well, that's very typical on those kinds of big spikes with data. I mean, it just tears, you know, away very, very quickly, and that's just basically it's a price exploration. And see all the single prints down in here, or you know, the TPOs down in here in your profile. Yeah, it did not auction here. All right, now auction market theory, or you know, what Steidlmeier talks about is that this was not fairly auctioned, and a revisit to this area is very likely. All right, now that said, it does not matter for the day. It can go, it will most likely explore further away, but then revisit maybe later. Okay, is there still demand down here, or is there not? And you know, the market, if it explores into these areas to see if it can accept into these areas. Right now, it's been rejecting. Okay, it came down, it retested, and it has everything to do with here the figure. All right, we don't really see too much in terms of, well, there's liquidity at the figure. Okay, so that's what gives it meaning here. It's the round number, but there's high liquidity here, which gives it the meaning, which just means that larger players are they're just keeping it simple. Throw high liquidity, I'll be a buyer at 4100. That's what it means. All right, so yeah, you know, these big events, keep it simple, keep it straightforward, and that's what some of these larger players are doing. I'm a buyer at 4100. Okay, and that's what the market is telling us, or that's what they are telling the market. And how does the market accept it? Well, that's the big question, right? I think we're going to test into it. I think we're finding enough sellers to reach down into this area here. Now, how did I come up with that? Right, this is really the key. It's not about me, how I came up with it, but like how does a trader assess that? Right, and we looked at it technically here. Okay, we had a fundamental event, and now we're looking at it technically. Okay, and we're looking at in technical analysis here. Actually, like I want to. That's kind of a misnomer here as well. What we're talking about here, and here's our move, guys, is what does the players? What do the players in this auction think about it? Their behavior is recorded here. Okay, and that is basically, we're looking at it technically then at that moment. Technical analysis, I think, is removed actually from this kind of data that we're showing in Bookmap. So guys, here's our move, beautiful move into it and through it. Okay, well, where might price go now? Well, I'm thinking it'll probably come right back to 100. It already is. Let's see if it accepts back up into this area here. That's going to be a really good question. Okay, if it can come back up above the 4100, and if we see maybe more demand again on the bid at 4100 and below. All right, so we've already traded through it. Now I'm looking to see if we reject and come back above it, the figure here. Okay, and then see more demand. Right now we're not. We're seeing a flip of the order book. They're on the bid here. Now they're on the offer here at 4100. So, you know, larger players are basically, they got filled in here, but they're on the offer now at this point. Okay, so, and price is going lower. It just went below the swing here. All right, so basically the technical analysis in here is kind of a misnomer. It's not really technical. It's just understanding the buyers and sellers in here, and starting to understand where they think this instrument has value. And we see the sellers come in here. We see a pullback. Okay, and we can look at the structure that it broke here, and it came and pulled back to that structure. And then we saw more sellers come in here again. We pulled back yet again a little bit here, and then we were looking for more sellers to come in and trade into this 4100. All right, so webinar started here at 10. By the time we got to it, yeah, I think we're right in here. We're looking for that move lower. We're looking also, we said, yeah, okay, this pullback here, we can look at it, but just a pullback here, but we're still looking for the sellers. Here's where we saw the sellers come in. That's where we're looking for this to trade down to 4100. All right, quick synopsis is because we're making lower lows, lower highs. We see more sellers. Even on this pullback here, there's not a whole lot of buying. So we're looking for it back and forth in here, and then more sellers to break it, which they did. And then we're testing. We want to look for the test into where the demand is. High liquidity, 4100. Okay, simple. Simple and straightforward. That's what we're looking for. All right, now we're still dropping here. All right, so now we're down about 89. Let's look at where it might go. Okay, and we're going to look at previous areas of supply here and transactions into that supply. Okay, here's the figure. Here's our 80 level here. Let's mark this up because we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Or I'm sorry, 85 it looks like. All right, that's the next level. I'm looking for price to test right now. Okay, because we're still finding, and here we go. We're still finding sellers in here, right? So this is the area we're looking for, the retest back down to here. Here, we're going to get back to the question from Roll Nabi. Is the auction into this area here, these single prints, and in fact even volume profile, this is single prints here. Okay, this I'm looking for a rejection here. All right, first time down at least, I'm looking for a rejection here. Okay, because this is very thinly traded here. I'm looking for buyers to trade it back up now to maybe the figure. Okay, here. Okay, even the figure here is very thinly traded. Okay, maybe we'll come up to this high volume node up here at 4110. Now, high volume node or not, let's just take a step back here because yeah, I like volume profile and market profile, understanding where there's a lot of transactions and kind of defining value in some of these areas here. But I really like looking at the market structure, which is basically the same thing. Okay, highs and lows, and then understanding the volume within that, the relationship between those swings in here. like we did on the way down, okay, into the 4100. All right, so now we're looking for a move back up into some of these areas and retest. Okay, I'm looking for a rejection here at this 85 level. And in fact, did it trade 85? Really close to 85 here. Really close, almost. And it's rejecting immediately. As you guys can see, it's been a nice move, okay, on a rejection move. I'm still looking to see if we can go up higher here, okay, into, I really like it up here. Well, let's just, I like the figure first, to be honest. All right, I really like it up here though as well, this kind of 04 05 area. And look at this relationship here between all of this volume here and then all of this thin area in here, right? That's why I'd be looking for a move back up to here, and it might reject if it comes back up here, right? But this is where it dropped here. Okay, it also dropped here, but I like this one, and I like the figure. Okay, now the figure we like because it's the big figure, and this is where there was high liquidity in here that finally transacted. So we're looking for sellers to keep it below the figure. Now they're a seller at 4100 and below, basically, is kind of what we're looking at as an idea. All right, so right now back and forth, and let's take a look at this current range in here. Okay, some pretty good selling, some pretty good buying, some pretty decent selling. Now I'm looking for pretty good buying, especially right here. Let's see if we can get them. Okay, I'm looking for them. Big green dot right here, okay, and the follow through up into the figure here. All right, so let's see if we can get that. Big green dots. All right, we're looking for support on the bid. They're actually down here at 88. All right, buyers, this is your chance to move it right back to the figure. See if they go for it. Not yet. No, back down to 88. Okay, lower high as well. Okay, into 88. Liquidity filled here. Okay, down to the low here. All right, so we're making a lower low here into our 85 level. I'm still looking for it to reject here. Still looking for these buyers to come in. Okay, I don't want to see them tangle with this area here. I'm looking for buyers to think that this is at a discount here, and we can trade it back up into like 93, back to 4100. Okay, so looking for that right now, looking for those buyers. That's the green dots that we're looking for over here. Now I'm looking for them down here. Okay, I'm not getting them. In fact, more sellers here. Okay, still looking for it to reject here. Okay, all right, let's see it, buyers. Here we go. I think they're ready. Let's see if they can, they tested one more time here, and then let's see if they can move it now. Again, this is a really simple concept here. Even in this, we're kind of looking at a volume profile, kind of like a back to value, kind of mean reversion type of activity here, but I don't want to even call it mean reversion. I want to call it a rejection into this area here where it did not trade. Okay, and it's exploring that area right now. This was the question earlier about these single prints in here. Okay, now either it's going to explore into it or it's going to reject. I'm looking for a rejection. Okay, I didn't cover the other scenario yet because I'm just didn't have time to go over it really. I'm still looking for the buyers here. Okay, the rejection and the move back up into retest these areas here. So it looks good. Here they come. I'm looking for them. Okay, they're breaking this small structure. We saw some of the buying, and now they broke a structure. Now I'm looking for more buyers here. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, we tested here, it made a double bottom in here, and we're finding buyers here. That's why we're looking for this now. Now it looks better that it will move higher and retest some of these areas here. Okay, once others start to kind of join in, we'll see if they join in. They should join in probably right around now, 92.5. Okay, and then we look for this to move pretty quickly up to the figure here. Okay, with our big green dots in here. Okay, nice so far. Not the big green dots we were kind of looking for, but not bad, not bad. Still looking for them to try to stream up to the figure though. Okay, I actually still like it a little bit more up at 0.04 up here, but you know, just look for the figure for now. Good morning, Alan. Couldn't sleep. Yeah. Roulette and Nabib, it seems too risky. Well, that's up for you to assess. I mean, I would say like really don't look at it as like, well, it looks too risky. It you know, it's more about, does the pattern fit your trading plan that you've taken many times, or the thing that you are looking for? And if it does, then you need to assess the risk in terms of how you're going to manage the trade. Okay, so for example, where would your stop be? Right, I would be looking for the well, we're looking for the buyers here. We did one more retest down here. We're looking for the buyers over here. It made a lower low in here. Okay, we saw this nice buying in here though. Okay, we're looking for them again here. We got them. Okay, now we're looking for it to test up into some of these areas. Right, so here, what would your risk be? Well, I mean, basically, I mean, you guys know what I'm kind of looking for, of like going with this momentum to the upside, okay, and placing a very tight stop. You know, in this case here, like if I got into this cluster in here, let's suppose in here at 91 or so, okay, then, and let's just mark it up. Okay, let's suppose in here I got in around 91 or so. My stop, yeah, I could put it below this little swing here, or I usually like to look at this kind of structure here. See that structure? It's where these sellers came in. Okay, they broke it here, but they came back in here kind of again, and it bounced around in here. So if this is going to work, then my stop should be at least here. I mean, at most here. Okay, so that would be from 90 down to like 86 or so. Okay, so that's a 4-point stop. All right, so that's a lot of risk. All right, so if that's my risk, well, then how much? What's my sizing? You know, what's my risk to reward? Okay, I'm looking for 4,100, the figure. right? We also talked about 88 as well. No, we talked about 88, I think, on something else. Yeah. No, we're talking about 88 and 85 down here. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, basically, you'd still be in this. All right, you'd still be in it. Okay, and you haven't taken any profit yet. Okay, and if you want to move this to break even now, you could have even moved it up in here to break even, and you would have been stopped out at break even. Okay. So that's one of the ways to look at it here. And then right now as well, you'd be stopped out. Okay, it didn't quite make it to the figure here. All right, I'm still looking for it though. I mean, maybe it has to come back down here and retest one more time, or we might find sellers now push it through here. Okay, looks like they're going to do that. Looking then for 80, and then let's go back and look at our structure. Yep, 80, and then all the way back down. Looking at our structure here, let's just zoom in there. Sorry guys, this is pretty wide ranges in here. Okay, looking for our structure here and then here as well. All right, and we have the figure down here, 40.50. All right, so a few different lines. Now it looks like a lot of lines that they have meaning though. Okay, they're based on some of the swings in there. All right, and we want to see order flow around those areas. All right, so anyway, yeah, this here, yeah, either a small stop loss, or you would have been stopped out at break even, because the target I was looking for was 4,100. Okay, and that did not pan out. All right, it came pretty close. Came up here to about what did it hit? Okay, it came up and hit 98.5 or so. Yeah, 98.5. That was the high. Okay, so a 1.5 away, and that was it. Now the seller's coming right back in. Okay, we're already down here to our first level here. Okay, and we're starting to see a little bit of a bounce. So a good one. That at least this idea or this concept of auctioning back into here is actually playing out. Boy, I mean, typically what I've seen in the past is if it does it does not do it that same morning. It is usually in the afternoon or maybe days later that it may auction back into those areas. So I'm a little surprised here. That's why I was looking also for rejection. And then move back up into the range, okay, which we kind of got in here, right? But or I'm sorry, we were not even looking for a move back into the range. We were looking for the move to the tail end of the range here, right? So just to retest back up into here, and it kind of did it. It just didn't hit our target. All right. Guys, any questions over in Discord? I'm looking. I'm sorry. It's hard to follow all these different chats in here. In fact, we may do away with the Discord chat. We're looking into it. We may use activities in there, a Discord feature. right? So yeah, you'll still be able to come into the Discord, but the chat will all be consolidated into YouTube, right? So anyway, all right, so here again, heavy buying coming in, same idea. And let's see if, and they're coming back to where? This was our kind of 85 level here. All right, so we need to see them really break above this on pretty high volume to get through 85 here. That's going to ask a lot. So we know what we're looking for here in the scenario, right? Okay, so this is it. Let's just draw it up quickly. Right here is the big green dot. Okay, big green dots in here. And then we got it. They have to be big. And then we're looking for the move back up to first area would be here. Okay. If they can get through this swing here, or kind of 85 level, right, on big volume. Okay, this is still in play. Okay, it's just come down in here, tested this where they started buying. Okay, so we're still looking for it. Okay, it's still in play. Okay, in fact, yeah, this is also possible in here. You can play it from here on up into the swing and take some off. Okay, and then you can hold it looking for your bigger move. Okay, your stop could be at break even here. Guys, now these are not trade recommendations, but I'm going through these scenarios in here because it's the same thing. This move here is a flag pattern, and so is this one. Okay, there's a flag right in here. Okay, one pullback, move higher. There's a bigger flag here. Okay, there's one there. There's a bigger flag here. One move, pull back, another big move. All right, and there is also, let's just get rid of some of these, a smaller flag pattern within it. Okay, so that was the one I was going over quickly. Okay, but I was looking for that to play out as well. And here it is here, right? Here's our smaller flag pattern. Move, pull back, move. Okay, so if you see that, and I know it's already in a flag pattern from a bigger, higher time frame, in fact 2. So I'm looking for it. Entry is in here, stop is here, first target is here at 85, second target is back to 90, or maybe even hold and look for the figure. Okay, look at the buying coming in. Okay, we're looking for the move to 90. Okay, does that make sense? Yep. Yeah, Yoakum, yeah, sure, I can talk more about the news impact on the market. But first I want to go through this in here because technically it's all here, guys. This is those big green dots that we're talking about. Okay, like I marked up here. They didn't happen here. They happened here. Right? But do you understand this kind of idea in this structure in here? Okay, so yeah. So we're up at our 90 already. Okay, it's transacting. I'd take my profit. I'm still looking for the bigger move up here, but this did what I was looking for. All right, so yeah, I would be out, and I can't come back and kick myself that it comes up to 100 now. Okay, what I can do though is I can look for another setup in here. All right, so I took my setup, I had my risk reward, I got my profit, I'm out, I scaled out, and Now I'm looking for another setup. Any questions on that? I want to get into the details in here. Okay, I would miss this. I would buy maybe a pullback here. Let's see. This makes me a little leery up here. I'm not too sure about it. Yeah, there's just something here in the structure that it's already kind of a back up or back down below where it broke out from here. I would be looking for this kind of, lack of selling in here. I do like seeing support in here, but the sellers took them on and traded into it and through it now. Okay, so yeah, I'd kind of stay away from that one. But anyway, let's see what unfolds here. All right, guys, no questions on that. No questions on that setup. Okay, very simple stuff in here. Okay, but we need the clarity in it. Okay, when we get the clarity, it's much simpler. Okay, much simpler. Now, did I kick myself? I sure didn't. Right, for taking profit up at my target up here. Okay, it actually came up a little higher to where they dropped here, and then it rejected. Harlock, let's see. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for like a system, I mean, there's all sorts of different ways to kind of slice and dice the order book. Basically, what we look for, okay, is let's just find a good example of it. I mean, we can even go with this here. I mean, it's during rollover period right now, but basically, let's suppose on the move down here, okay, and this would be kind of a reversal pattern, is trading into high liquidity on the bid, on the bid, on the bid at a higher level. See, look at the transactions into it, more sellers, more sellers. All right, now they're bidding here at the same level. Okay, and now we broke this little swing here and we see more buyers here. Okay, so I'm looking for support in the order book down here, basically. Okay, we came down lower. Okay, support is down here, 75. Okay, so we're looking at these areas in here. Where are they getting filled on the way down? All right, so that's what we're looking at first. Okay, and this brings us to the live market. Now we're looking for the aggressor to come in and move it away from that area after they're absorbing here on the bid, and they're doing that. And look at them on the bid at these higher levels in here. Okay, so the answer is we're looking for where people are getting filled in the order book, and where we start to see a relationship between them getting filled and aggressive buyers trading it the other way. And we're looking for them to pull the liquidity on the offer. Now, see how the kind of like I mentioned, this is during rollover period, so it's a little more challenging because it's high liquidity that's added and pulled all the way through here. Okay, but they stayed in the order book down in here, right? In fact, they bid up in front of these areas here. Okay, it is that context that we're looking for. Okay, there is no indicator and there is no system. You can program something like that. We do have imbalance indicators up here. We have CVD, we have stops and icebergs, We have a lot of different other things here, but if you're looking for a red light, green light system, this is not it. Okay, so what we're looking for is the context of the players in the auction, their behavior. Through their behavior, we look for certain outcomes, like buyers back up in this swing, aggressive buyers, and where might they move it? Okay, would be high liquidity up into like up into these swings here, or up into these areas where price rejected previously. Okay, and it rejected here again. No, I like it, the probabilistic approach. That's the way to go. Absolutely. But it is about the it's a hard thing to say, because we all want it to be a beautiful little tightly knitted up math problem, and it's just not. It comes back to context in here in the auction. So to resume, we're looking for where setups where aggressive buyers. No, so aggressive buyers in context to the bid as and also the offer. So we want to see them pull on the offer, and we want to see them like support and even bid up on the bid, right? So there's the auction process or the context, and the context is not mathematical. It's about the players. The context is, wow, okay, we're coming down. They got filled on the way down here. Okay, we see some buying starting to creep in here. Okay, they're getting filled again here. They're bidding up here at 75 and 74. We trade into this area here. We also have an iceberg, and they didn't get through it. We start to see the aggressor come on the other side, and they start to break the structure, the swings, and we start to note typically either it's a lot of absorbed volume down here, or it exhausts. Okay, and typically there'll be more volume back up into this pocket up here, okay, compared to like down in here, right? And then the market is ready to test back up into these areas, in these swings. All right. Now, if you have like some sort of like a study, okay, it could even be like we talk about all the time. Could be Fibonacci's, could be candlesticks. It could be floor trader pivots. It could be a pattern trade like double bottoms, double tops, whatever it is. But you have your probability on it. This is where the order flow is going to just help you immensely. Here we talked about on Friday this kind of double bottom pattern in here. Here it is here too. In essence, it's more of a head and shoulders. Sellers, some buyers come in a little bit. Sellers into high liquidity, both areas here and here. Okay, a little bit of buying, no selling. It retested this area. It was absorbed here earlier, and there's no selling here. Okay, that's kind of odd. They were selling here previously. Okay, now we're looking for buyers back up here. Did we get some? We got a little bit. Okay, and then here they just broke it really quickly. Okay, up to here. Here's our pullback. Now, are they supporting it here on the bid? Okay, do we see like liquidity on the bid here? I'm looking for that, and I'm looking for lack of sellers again here, exhaustion basically. That's the kind of behavior we're looking for, right? So now, if you put this together in your kind of higher time frame probability on some of the setups you're looking at, this is going to give you an edge. Okay, there's some sort of order flow of combination in here, okay, that you will be able to read. Okay, and it's just understanding this concept in here, or concepts, or what these variations look like in here. It could be absorption, it could be a rejection, and maybe it trades down really quickly and comes right back up really quickly and trades above it, and it could be trap volume that's down below. There's just different kind of variations of what this might look like. In this case, it's kind of this is more traditional technical analysis, like head and shoulder. Very much so. Okay, it's kind of a rounded bottom in here as well. It took a little, I mean, it's a very low time frame move here, but nonetheless, the components are here. See the buying here, see the exhaustion here, see the exhaustion here, see the buying here, more buying. Nice. Look for the move. Understood? Does that make sense? Go back again, and I want to try to encapsulate these things into nice sentences, but and so that is very, very clear, and we just look for the move to unfold. And now here we got this move on this time frame. Now this was that little head and shoulders way down here, right? Well, bigger picture, let's look at it now. Okay, well, the bigger picture, it came back up here to this 90 and, or I'm sorry, 85 and rejected. Okay, kind of went above it, rejected. Sellers, retest, more sellers here. Great. This looks great for retesting here. Okay, just where these guys broke out from before. It actually came down lower and made a newer low. Now, here's the variation here. Okay, I hope this is helping. Harlech, I mean, there's just these different variations on it. Okay, and this variation here is lots of selling here, retest. Okay, it traded into high liquidity here. Okay, did that, retested here, just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We never got a retest back down here. Okay, we see more buyers here. This is looking good now. At this little swing here, we see more buyers here. We can see, and let's just be realistic about this. Let's just let this unfold here, because it's all here. And the more we look at this in detail, and this is why I recommend the replay mode. The more we look at this in detail, the more that we will be able to see this in real time, and this is looking just great. Okay, we're seeing lots of buyers above this selling, so these sellers are going to be trapped. So now we're looking for these buyers to try to push it, and I would be looking for a move up to here, okay, or here where these sellers came in. And it should happen pretty quickly. It took its time. But it did it. Okay. All right. Does that make sense? Again, it's the same thing in here. Okay. This is just a different variation of that. Because it sounds like you're a experienced trader, or you know what you're looking for. This is where it's just going to be golden for you. You know, when you can look at your I don't know what exactly you're looking for your higher probability outcomes, but then you start to mix some of the order flow in here, it's going to be just golden. Yeah, now look at this. This is a bigger pattern in here. Okay, and look at the buying up here. This is looking good. All right, so now what we're looking for in this scenario is more buying up here, okay, at 85. Okay, we don't want to see selling here. We don't want to see selling here. Okay, if we do come down here, we want to see light selling, and then just to immediately come back up here to 85, looking for our big green dots. And now let's see it. We're looking for our big green dots here to try to pull this away from this whole area here, and then come back up to maybe 90, and maybe finally the figure here, right? And then we'll see if it rejects up here at the figure. So that's what we're looking for here now on this time frame and this pattern here. Okay, and so far so good. Okay, it just broke out. And then sellers are trying to drive it back into here. Okay, I'm still looking for buyers to move this higher though. I think they got it. There's more buying than this on the return here so far. So far, you have to be careful here. Maybe all of a sudden the selling really picks up and dwarfs this buying like that, right? Okay. Now again, this is a stop run though. Okay, so we can come back up above it here and get buyers here, and the game is still on. So looking for our big buyers here and the move into 90. Okay, let's see. This is where it's do or die for the buyers right here at this 86. Let's see it, buyers. Nope, can't do it. All right, let's see it, buyers. Looking for them. Let's see them show up. Can't do it. Can't do it still. All right. Well, anyway, that's the scenario. If and they're not showing up, we're getting our sellers come back in. The question here about the okay, I'm not really following some of the questions here. Harlock, how to spot algos that hit the bid on purpose to trap. Well, you're talking about a spoof. Yeah, I mean if they're gonna, it's usually the high, that very short-term high liquidity that we're talking about for a spoof, and like I said, it's a little hard to kind of see things in here right now due to the rollover period, because they're on. You see this kind of, they're on both sides here, kind of straddling, right? So larger players here. Okay, we're back to our 85 after doing this move back down. Still not finding buyers. All right, so we're not getting too much out of it right now. Let's zoom out. Let's look at this. Okay, I like it now. All right, let's see these buyers lift this now. I'm looking for them. They just came in again here at 85, and I want to see them retest back up here to 88, and then hit 90 here. And let's see if they can. And they can. It's a battle. This 85 is turning into a battle here. They're trying, but sellers keep pushing it back down. So there's just a battleground in here right now. Someone's going to win it. You'll see. We'll see, and we know what it looks like. Okay, and then how do we look for a higher probability for who's going to win that battle? Okay, well, one thing we look for is these guys to end up pulling here. They don't want to be sellers up here. They want, in fact, they maybe flip and they're on the bid wanting to be buyers down here. Okay, so we'd be looking for a pretty stacked book that would look like this, like high liquidity underneath here, like this, and then these guys up here, they'd be pulling their liquidity, right? They'd be out of the market. That's when we're looking for the reaction to this to be the aggressors. That's our big green dots. Okay, and we're looking for them to trade up into these areas here. Okay, that would be a much higher probability understanding of the order flow for it to go higher. Okay, I'm in edit mode, right? And we're not getting really much of anything right now. Okay, actually now we're starting to see sellers retest this bottom edge here. Yeah. So I mean, and now let's just take a stare at it here. Okay, when we saw some of these moves in here, we knew what we were looking for, and one of them panned out really nicely here, and then another one panned out in here pretty nicely as well, on these moves back up into these areas here. Okay, and then look at some of these other areas though. Okay, this move to the downside over here is pretty good. It's pretty nice. The kind of rejection back up above 90 here, and then sellers come in, drive it back down into these areas where those buyers were previously. Okay, so that's not bad. In here though, not too much, really not too much. And in here, well, it's kind of shaping up nicely to trade back down to 75 and 72 here. Okay, so because here again, this is the same thing on the sell side though. This is where the sellers came in. Okay, now see how they're getting upended right now? So look out. Like now we're looking for a beautiful short squeeze to the upside, not just to 85. I'm looking for it to go higher here, looking for 90. And let's see if we can get even higher than that. Okay, pull back. And let's see it, buyers right up here. Now we're looking for them above 85. Okay, this is our flag pattern in here again. Okay, flag, flag. Be like something like this. Is what we're looking for. Okay, now we're looking for that in the order flow though. Okay, the pattern I don't give a hoot about. Okay, we're looking for it for the order flow. So what are we looking for in the order flow? We want to see buyers here, 85, not sellers in here like this. All right, so this pattern may break now. Okay, now it's back on. Look at the buyers back up here. Okay, looking good. All right, let's see it, buyers. Let's see you lift this here. Let's see these sellers capitulate and finally get a stop run on the upside here. All right, we didn't get too many of those. Brian, you have a couple of questions in here. How do I know the sellers right before 1056 are shorts entering and not long stopping out? 1056. Well, we have the stop indicator here that tells us quite a bit. You know, yeah, there's a bunch of stops in here. It's not that many though, to be honest. I can turn the on chart stops on. Yeah, it's not a whole lot on the sell side in here. It was like 50 or so, maybe 100. Yeah, maybe around 100. It says 23 here, but that's due to the filtering. Okay, I'm looking to see it now. It's looking just great for this to stop run to the upside here. Just fantastic. Just need to get our buyers up here and these sellers to finally give up this battle back and forth in here. Okay, now what do we got in here though? It's not, I don't see the buyers back up here yet. Okay, I'm still looking for them. Now the order book is not helping us out here. Okay, so we don't have that really high probability outcome here. This is just based on the pattern or the price structure and the aggressor here. The order book, there's nothing in here in the order book helping us. So we don't really have a high probability trade here. Okay, I'm still looking for the swing up into 90 here and quickly too, because all of these sellers in here, if they can't win this battle, and they're trying, you can see them in here battling. I'm looking for them to give up and the buyers here to win, and then the very quick move on up into 90. Okay, we know it auctioned up here before. We had our flag pattern in here, and again, this flag pattern, it just took forever for it to kind of work out, right? I mean, all this back and forth in here, and now finally it's working out. And there's the move. Okay, now they are supporting it on the book here, in the book a little bit here at 88, and they traded into 90, and they stayed in the order book here at 90. All right, so guys, I mean, this took a while to work out, but it did it. Okay, and then in here we didn't have much in the order book, like I said, to help us out. We didn't get that kind of skew here. They're doing it now, but we're up pretty high. So I don't know what I think about it now. If we get enough buyers back up here though at 90, I think we got a nice little kind of move back up to 4100, the figure. Okay, so I would be looking for that, and let's see if they can do that. Okay, it's looking good. It's looking good. Okay, so see if we can get that continuation. Yeah, Ramon, you're looking at the euro dollar. That's a great correlation to look at right now, or dollar index. Nice to see me back. Yeah, yesterday was kind of a bit of a struggle, and you know, I made a big error yesterday with the analysis. And I made the same error actually today. Right, so I usually go over the higher time frame stuff, but these webinars, we kind of have limited time, and I want to go through as many high probability setups as we can, and understand and try to, you know, gain something from it, and then we can apply it on any time frame in here. You know, that's what we're kind of looking for, and so I usually jump in right away. The error I made yesterday was looking at higher time frame, and I didn't do it today either. Okay, so I made it twice in a row. Now, higher time frame, what I want to look at is the same ideas and same concepts in here, okay, but on a candlestick chart. Okay, on a daily here on the left, an hourly in the middle, and a 15-minute on the right. So here's our move. Look where we went, guys, on the daily, up to this swing up here at 41.71. That's why it rejected up here. It went just above it and rejected hard. Look where it rejected to, the top of the swing in here. And that's where we currently are right now, a little bit below it here. All right, here on the hourly, here's that area here. Okay, and we came all the way back down to here. So it kind of, there was a little gap fill in here. It already filled it, but anyway, it came back into this area here. Okay, and that's where it's bouncing now. All right, so and look, this is the big gap here from, we're looking at regular trading hours here, so this is that big gap from the CPI data, right? And this is the pullback. All right, now let's look at the 15-minute chart. Looking pretty good in here. Look at these wicks in here. Let's look at the day. Okay, look at the wicks in here, and we're getting buyers back up at the swing here, right? How is this any different, you know, in terms of swings at least, that now we're looking for big buying up here? We want to see the down here. We're not seeing big buying up here or more buying on this candle, and the candles are just, you know, I like it, but it's just not that transparent. Where's the volume trading on this candle? Well, we know it came back up to the swing, and I know it's less volume, and I don't want to see less volume on this candle. I want to see more volume on this candle, and I want to see more volume up here at 90, right? 91. Then with the candlestick pattern and the volume chart, subchart, it looks better to come up to this 4107, okay, or maybe even you know, 10 or 14 up into here. Okay, heck, maybe even up into here like 4100 and 30, you know, something like that. Okay, understand? Same idea here. Okay, we're looking for that on this candle here. Now this is a little bit of a pullback here. I want to see very little volume on that, very little. And then I want to see more volume at the top end here at 90 to 92. If we get that, we have a higher chance of trading up higher on a pullback on this 15-minute chart. All right, so now what I'm going over here is the same concept and idea, but on a 15-minute chart, an hour chart, and the daily chart. Okay, so now we look at the order flow to really help confirm that, and it already was confirming that. Okay, now what about the volume in here? Well, good buy volume, good buy volume. Now it is sell volume here. Yeah, no, I don't really, this is not that convincing right now that it's ready to do that move right now. Okay, so maybe we're just going to hack around it in here some more. Okay, maybe it comes back down into 85 again, or 85 battleground in here, and has to retest back down there, right? So again, same concepts, same scenarios, and we're looking for that to unfold now in the order flow, and it's starting to, right? We're just not getting what we're looking for up here. Okay, on the lower time frame, we saw it in here, and we saw that buy volume starting to win the battle. Okay, here we didn't get too much insight in the order book, but once we started to see that buy volume here, back in these little areas here, we're looking for the move up into 90. Okay, and then maybe it can go higher if they can really pick it up. They didn't pick it up in here. Look at it, right? So we're back to 85 now, right? So same ideas. Now it's not a cop out or anything like that. It's just an order flow reading, the order flow shift that took place in here. Okay, for a move back down into this huge kind of debacle, right? And that's what's unfolding. So, and here it is on our 15-minute candle. Right, so now it still may come up here and break it, but it's not ready now. Okay, the order flow is not, it's not telling us it's ready for that right now. All right, so so anyway, that was the error I made yesterday, guys. Let's just take a look at that because we can look at a week back, and it was in here, right? The structure in here was pretty nice. Here's the hourly. It was this little structure in here on the hourly, okay, that we came back up here, and then I was looking for a fade up in this area up in here, and it just it kept going in the afternoon, right? Let's see here. No, the webinar was, we were down in here in these areas, these lower wicks in here, and I was looking for continuation to the downside. Instead, we came back up above and traded back up into this area here and then busted through it end of the day. Really strong move end of the day. Overnight session was super strong as well. It was up. We were up into here, you know, somewhere around up in here. Super strong move. Anyway, we want to know these higher time frames first, right? So my error on that, and we won't do it again. We'll look at these higher time frames, and then we're going to look at the order flow within them to give us more insight. Yeah, I love it, Ramon, that you're looking at the dollar. I mean, it's really all about the dollar right now and interest rates. I mean, it always is about the strength of the dollar and interest rates, but like the inflation and how the Fed is going to react to some of these things in here, and we're going to see it in some of these other correlated instruments. Sometimes they correlate better than others. All right, so yeah, here's a small little move, guys. Order flow move. Look at this absorption. No, not much selling on the retest here. Looking for buyers. Let's see if we can just get up to here, just to here, 84. That's it, right? Just because of this order flow kind of an imbalance or an event here, right? So just looking for a small move here, but it's the same concepts, okay? And just looking for these buyers here to move it on up to top of this range. Okay, this guy spoiled the party right here. If we can get buyers through it, though, look out. See how this guy just totally spoiled it here. We have our we had this order flow event here, or in the order book. This gave us some insight. The retest here gave us some insight too, and then we have nothing except for now here. All of a sudden, like this guy staying in the order book, and gives us a different feel for what's going on here. Right, so the order book helped us here and then here as well, because otherwise, you know, unless we found enough buyers to go through this 81.50, then we'd come up to 84 pretty quickly. Okay, but the reaction to this liquidity here at 81.50 was selling. All right, so we were looking for just a small move back up into where it dropped from. We can go through it again. These lower time frame, seeing it happen in real time again and again and again is so powerful. Okay, now again, we're not getting too much out of the order book. They're down here at this 75, and they have been most of the session. Okay, but you can see this, you know, these queuing algos in here. So this is, look at this. This is bullish. See how they're bidding up here? Okay, now are we starting to break structure? Not yet. Okay, let's see if we get buyers here. If we do, right here is where we're looking, 80. Okay, there's almost 80. Pretty close. Pretty close. Okay, there's 80. All right, that was it. Now let's reassess. Let's look at the top edge up here. 80 3/4. Let's zoom out a little bit. Not bad. Looking for a retest down to here though. Would like to see the sellers come back down to here. Okay, to 77 3/4 or 78. Okay, there's some exhaustion. Okay, buyers at the top edge. All right, let's see if they can push it up to 84 now. Okay, just a little bit of momentum up into up into here, up into 84. Okay, pull back. Okay, let's see if we get more buyers. More buyers again. Let's see if we get it. If we don't and we get exhaustion, which we just did, and sellers here, we're looking for a move back down to here, 78. Okay, all right, so let's see if we get sellers here at the bottom of this little range right here, and then we should get the move back down into 78 or so. We're not getting them. We're getting our buyers. Okay, this is European close at the moment. Some exhaustion there. Okay, buyers, but exhaustion. And what if we get sellers here at 80 3/4? That's the scenario, the what if. And we're not getting them. Not yet. Okay, if we do, yeah, right down to 79 and maybe our 77 or 78. There we go. See how we retested back up here and didn't get them, or didn't get buyers here, right? Then we got this quick sell-off here. This is all over the place. Well, this is the close here, guys. We're right at the close of the European market, European session. Okay, so we're going to get some volatility during that time. Nonetheless, I mean, it's still, the order flow events are still the same. It still holds true. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to, if you like this kind of education, please hit the like button. Really helps us out here. Subscribe to the channel, even better, and hit the like button. We do have an event later today. Let me show you that. Okay, well, Tom B is lined up next, so you can jump right over. He's probably just starting right now, 11:30, and then at 1 p.m. we have Crypto Lifer, Sam at Crypto Lifer. Great stuff for crypto markets. Then options with Doug at 1:30. And then the Algo Boys is actually on our Discord channel, so you'll have to come over to that for the Algo Boys. And then Oliver, he'll be on Friday though. Okay, so just have it in here for right now. All right, so okay, we're back up above our 85, guys. Look at that 85 level. And how we noticed how important that was, kind of above it or below it here, right? Look at the strong breakout back up above it here. Okay, nice strong move here on that buy side. Let's see them come right back to 90 here, right back to 90, and let's just zoom out and let's get our bigger picture. See how good this looks in here? So we're looking for them to carry it right on up to 90 and maybe through it now. Okay, we have the possibility here, European close, lots of buying, and then see if they can float it back up, not only to 90, but through it, and finally get to that 4,100. This has been a very choppy session, as you guys can see. Okay, we're looking for, well, we found lots of small little order flow moves within it. Some that were a little bit bigger than others, and then we're looking for a bigger event in here, and this might turn into it. This might turn into it here. Okay, so the buying looks pretty good, and let's see if they can get a heavy buying back up at 90, and then a breakout, and then, you know, back up into our, well, not only 4100 but our 04, okay, right here where it dropped from over here. And this could turn into a bigger event, okay, a bigger move, and we'd be looking for that. Okay, so order flow on multiple time frames here, but the same concepts in here, exact same concepts. All right, let me get to a few more questions in here. Bert, let's see, I have only long because of CPI lately. Every time you get trapped on the macro events. Okay, well, CPI, I mean, that's fine, Bert. I mean, you're looking at, you know, you're looking for going long due to the CPI. Okay, great. You know what you're looking for. Now just look for the order flow to support it. Right? So this could be finally a move here that could break this range and then trade back up into the previous ranges up here, or at least back up into where it rejected from here at 4100. Right? Still some real big single print areas down here from that CPI move as well. Guys, so I mean, look for the opposite of this. This fails up here. Sellers compounding in, but this is what is going to have to look like. It really, it will have to look like this. You will have to, I mean, really high probability that this is what it will look like. Is 85 down here. You might get a really strong move into here, and then 85 is really where the seller's got to pick it up to drop it. Okay, and then move it lower here. Now, you know, we don't know. You know, something's going to happen up in here. Some sort of transition will happen up in here to move it back down to 85. And then if we do get that, we can come back down and explore some of these single prints down here. But right now, the scenario that we're looking for is the move on up into 100 or maybe 104 right now. In the higher time frame, first we were just looking for that move into 90. Okay, that's already unfolded. It's already above it. It's at 94.5 right now. Okay, we're still looking for this to go higher. Okay, now the simple event on this one is to just let it run up to 100. Just let it run. This is the easy move here, the easier move, and we're looking for, you know, that big buy volume to run it up there. Okay, so, and we're getting it here so far. Okay, so pull back already, back to 92. Okay, and we're again looking for that big buying volume in here. Marcel, do I ever reference the SPY? Yes. You might want to check out Doug at 130. He also looks at that, and he also looks at the VIX. I don't know if he looks at the VIX actually. We'll have to ask him that. Yeah, you'll talk to Doug. He looks at the Qs as well, and these higher liquidity levels on those ETFs. Okay. Yep, you're welcome. All right, so guys, this boy, I thought we'd get the move immediately in here. Not such a simple move right now. There is some selling in here. No, it's a lot smaller than that buying though. Okay, so we're still looking to see buyers try to support it here at this kind of 89 level here. Okay, sellers are already below it. Oh wow, all the way back down to 85. Okay, it's doing it already. I really wanted to see this, with that heavy buying like that, for them to just very quickly move it on up to 100. There's a lot of selling still in here though. It's not, there's still more buying than selling though. Still more buying than selling here. Okay, so look for the next level here. And I'm there with you, Bert, on this buying in here. Yeah, the order flow will rule, guys, when it comes down to it. Yeah, that drop below 85 is going to be the battleground. So that's where you're going to see the heavy selling, and then they're going to go for the lows here, and then the single prints again and auction down in here. All right, so that's the opposite scenario. Okay, and let me get back to any questions here. Hold on. There is no Bookmap for TradeStation. I mean, we can connect to TradeStation for trade data, meaning that you cannot get TradeStation data within Bookmap. You still have to subscribe to DXFeed for stocks or Rhythmic or DXFeed for futures. That's fine. You can connect to your trade data. So when you take a trade from Bookmap, you can route your trades to your TradeStation or interact with brokers as well. Okay, so it's a one-way connection and you're actually sending them data, not receiving data. All right. Jonathan, you're welcome. Mike, you guys are welcome. Yep. It's been a really choppy session, guys, but we saw some good things and some back and forth in here. Lulu, take this one step at a time. We've got another trader in here, Alan. If you see something in your candlestick pattern, okay, maybe we'll go through this the next time and we'll go over candlesticks. My point is that if you see something that you usually trade, like some sort of pattern, or it could be candlesticks, volume profile, or head and shoulders, or whatever it might be that you're looking at. Now look for the order flow to support it, and don't think of it like some sort of like math problem. Just think of it as an auction. Players in an auction, what do they think of it? See how these buyers are kind of trapped up here? They couldn't get back up here. So look at the sellers push it here, and we should get a stop run. Okay, back down into 85. See, buyers were here. They couldn't move it. Right? Now we're coming back up here. So let's just go through it. Did these buyers get stopped out? Some of them did. Okay, what if we can get back up here though? And what if we can get more buyers up here? I bet they can break this level and not only trade to here at 90. I think they could probably trade back here to 92, or maybe this level up in here, 94. That's what we want to go through. So think of these as players. Did they get stopped out? Yeah, some did. Okay, what if we can get back up here and get more buyers though? Okay, what if we don't get buyers up here? What if we get, like in here, what if we get sellers right here? All right, then we are. Okay, I want to see then the sellers drive it right back down to 85 or 84. See that? See how that scenario unfolded really quickly, but we read it. That's what we want to go through. It's not like all these different equations you have to keep in your head, and it's just understanding these concepts of these players in here. And that shouldn't take too much. Okay, so now this would be you know, you can combine that kind of activity with your candles, for example. And I'm sorry, guys, I'll end this webinar. I know that Tom is starting, and we got to get going, but I want to go through this because it's a really good question. And tomorrow we have JTrader, so I don't have too much time to go over it. So I thought maybe I'd just try to address it in here. Let's take a look at this. Okay, let's clear all our drawings. I just really want to answer the question here. So we can look at these candles in here, right? This is 5-minute candle, I believe. Yeah, 5-minute candles. Okay. All right, so now let's look at the candles and in between the candles. So this one looks pretty good. Now, it only traded up to here, though, right? And then it failed up here. Okay, and this is when we were looking for it to come to 100 and 104. And it failed. Okay, well, this is a failed breakout. For your candlestick pattern, this would be a failed breakout. Here's your breakout and close on that 5-minute period up here. Strong volume. This is looking great. All right. But it failed. And then what happened in here? Okay. Well, sellers in here. Here's our candle. Okay, now it retraced it in here. And I don't, even candlestick wise, I'm not getting too much out of this. I don't really know, to be honest. Because it traded down here. This could be just a pullback and it could come right back up here and then break out. Okay, or we could get more sellers and come back in, and then maybe we can get down to here, right? Or look at the swing here. Okay, and the candles. Okay, what about where did they buy before? Down in here. Well, let's look at that area, and now we can see it. So maybe here, or maybe here. These are pretty good areas, okay, to look for. All right, so what are we looking for in the candle? Well, the candle's already moving down below. All right, so now we're looking for a pullback to here. Now, if we're bearish, and we can make a case for being bearish, here's the sellers here. Okay, we'd be looking for buyers back up above those sellers if we're going to look for something bullish. So we're looking for, again, red dots here. Okay, red dots here, on down into 77 and 76. That's what we're looking for here. Okay, red dots, bottom edge, and then the move into liquidity here, 80. Okay, almost there. Almost there. There we go. There's your 80. See, now, Lulu, was that difficult? Okay, was that difficult to understand? I mean, we went through the candles pretty quickly, but we knew what we were looking for. And we're looking for that move to go lower here based off of candles, and then we looked inside the candles. Right, we looked at the order flow and where it might go based on the liquidity here. We look for 78, or 78 and 76 have not traded yet, but we saw liquidity here at 80. So that was the first target. All right. All right, guys. Ramon, I'll go through these quickly here. Ramon, you can look at euro dollar. It makes up like 60%, right, of the dollar index, or you can look at the dollar index. That's fine. It's up to you. I don't have the dollar index, so I look at euro dollar. And then let's see, Lulu, the problem is you can't see the pattern on your thinkorswim. Well, you should be able to see that on your thinkorswim. That all of these things and functionalities within the thinkorswim. Yeah, no, you should be able to see it. If not, you might want to just try it. Like, try the desktop version for a month. Give it a try. You can be up and running. You can have the $49 version of Bookmap. That'll show all of the things we just talked about. And then you can use rhythmic data for 39 bucks a month. So 40 plus 50, 90 bucks, you'd be up and running. Can't afford it. You should be able to look at your Thinkorswim. It should have it. Really, you should be able to zoom in like that. I've played around with it. It works just fine. Guys, look at this move here, right? So we were looking for that move into 77 or 78 and 76. It's already blown through that, okay, and going lower. Now this was based off of our candlestick reading in here and the order flow together, right? And now look at it's come and made new lows for the day here. It's trading into that scenario of these prints down in here and explore these areas in here, which ironically is what we started the whole webinar off with. I forget who asked the question about will it trade back down into these lower areas, okay, and test some of those single prints, and indeed it did, right? So nice move. I think it was roulette. I don't know, I forget. Anyway, or Noah maybe. Yeah, guys, all right, have a great great rest of the day. Looks like it wants to trade all the way back to where this broke out from. Pretty heavy selling coming in here, but you know, it's going to auction in here and try to figure itself out in here, right? What do buyers and sellers think of it in this area in here? That's what the new question is right now. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks so much. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. All right, subscribe and hit the like button, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.